Folks, welcome to Affiliate Nerd Out. I am your nerderator, Dustin House, spreading that good word about affiliate marketing. You're going to find me nerding out with industry folks every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon and on LinkedIn Live and wherever you get your podcasts. So please consider subscribing. My nerd guest today, Adam Weiss, CEO and owner of Weiss Digital Consulting. Thanks for joining me, Adam. Welcome
Thanks for having me, Dustin.
Auditorium. All right.
Good to be here, man.
Awesome. You can find Adam and I in here doing some live Q&A. If you have any questions about affiliate, drop them on in there into the chat, and we will do our best to answer your questions. But without further ado, Adam, who are you?
You remind me of that scene in Zoolander.
Yeah.
Where he looks into the puddle and he's like, "Who am I?"
It's exactly what I was going for.
You got the Derek Zoolander look.
You are the first person to pick up on that. That is the joke that I'm going after.
I love it, man. I hope at the end of the show you unleash Blue Steel on your audience, though. That would be the move. Or now.
A few of them.
Well, who am I? I'm Adam. It's good to be here. Where do I start? Professionally, been in the affiliate space for about 20 years or so. Spent a long part of my career at a company called Rakuten Advertising, formerly known as Linkshare, where I ran their North American business. And since then, about the last 5 years, I've been consulting, advising, helping publishers, technology partners, folks like that in the affiliate ecosystem with everything from strategy to monetization and partnership development. That's the work. Who am I?
That's the gist. Okay. I like you jumped. You weren't sure if you were going to go professional or like personal, and you went professional. Like,
yeah, I mean, we can go personal. I mean, you and I already talked. I mean, the first time we spoke, I think we went full,
I know you.
We went full 80s baseball. I saw the Will Clark jersey in the background.
That's right.
Will the Thrill, and we went into it.
Legend. And Mike over at Martech, he's not a big Will Clark fan. If you know that,
he's a big Cubs fan. I know that
exactly. And Will Clark tore him apart in the '89 pennant, so he's not a big fan of that jersey back there.
Well, I like to tell everyone I'm a long-suffering Mets fan.
Oh my! I'm sorry.
Being
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
But I'd also say, suffering builds character as well. And the Mets have once again helped build some character this year.
They sure do figure it out every year for you. Really fun franchise to be a fan of, I'm sure.
Well, there was hope.
It looked good. It really looked good on paper, didn't it? But
the thing is, I still have hope, Dustin.
Okay.
Have hope. That's the key, right?
I mean, if you don't have hope, like, where are you in life?
Touche.
Yeah.
Touche.
All right, Adam. I think we got a gist of who you are: Mets fan and affiliate monster. Anybody? Adam's a guest today because he hit this QR code, or he hit me up on Slack in the Martech Record forum, and wanted to be on board. If you would like to be a guest, just like Adam today, go to dustinhouse.com/nerd or click this QR code and join me in a future episode. Adam's profile is now in the chat. You can grab Adam if you want to know more information about him. But let's get into your company, Weiss Digital Consulting. How'd you come up with this name, Adam?
I'm a branding genius. So how did I come up with this name? So it's funny, actually. When I started, I was trying to figure out all the different things you need to do to start a business. Is that you got the baseball in your hand now?
Oh, I always do. Yeah, this is my fidget tool. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I like it. It's better than a basketball and something like this, I guess. So I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, "Don't worry about the name, the website. Just like go get some business and learn and figure it out, et cetera, et cetera." So I didn't actually put too much thought into the name. I guess in hindsight, maybe I could have come up with something a little cooler. I'm still open to ideas if anyone out there has any.
I don't think you want to go backwards. I think the right way is like coming up with something really silly, and then you revert back into like your name to brand yourself later on once you get established.
I guess so. Yeah, I think, it's, I always think is there's something that would kind of make it more expansive in terms of explaining what I do when people look at it. And so it doesn't look like it's like just a resume filler of some sort when it's actually a real business that I've been
Oh,
running for the
sure.
last 5 years. But yeah, that's my name. I could definitely tell you the family history of my name if you want, but I don't think your listeners really care about that. But yeah, so it was a quick way to get started. And when you're starting up your own business too, it's like the little things like a domain being available, the LLC being available,
Sure.
the state that you're registered, and making sure all that stuff lines up. And it was honestly, it was just kind of like an easy thing just to kind of to do. And here we are.
Easy game. Easiest simplicity is sometimes the best there. So, how'd you get into this consulting game? You mentioned you were at a network for quite a while and
Was.
gaining that experience. And then where'd you find this niche to fill?
So I guess I tell a lot of people this, but I always felt or saw that the publisher side of the business specifically felt a little bit underserved.
Okay.
Agree or disagree, but
Completely. Yes.
it seemed like I always tell people there's a ton of great agencies out there managing advertiser programs, a ton of great technologies out there helping support advertisers. But it always felt to me like the publisher side, again, was just a little bit underserved. And there was a need for help strategically on multiple fronts, entering the affiliate market, growth in the affiliate market, developing partnerships, building relationships, understanding the ecosystem. The list goes on and on. So I sort of hung my hat out there and I was like, these are some of the things I'm thinking about. Okay. And I started talking to a ton of folks. I'm fortunate, from my time in the industry, knew a lot of good people. And I just started calling and talking to people and telling them what I was thinking, asking about pain points, problems they were looking to solve. Again, this is all on the publisher side. And it helped me sort of formulate my thoughts around it and get rolling. And to be honest, to this day, I'm still always refining and tweaking the offering. But it's fun to work with publishers who, in my mind, are innovating, creating new and interesting technologies, driving what's happening from an e-commerce perspective, and helping them strategically. I don't know if you've experienced this, but people who are entering the affiliate space, if you don't have sort of a map of everything that's going on, it could be confusing. Do I work with, I'm a publisher, so do I work with all these networks? What's a sub-network? Who are these agencies that are managing some of the programs, but some of the programs I got to call the advertiser directly, or some of them, the network is the agency. That's like, who do I call? What do I do? And that's a simplistic example, Dustin, but just helping navigate, I think, is a big thing. And you could really, accelerate, your entry into the space pretty quickly with someone to sort of help coach you through it. And then if you're in the space, there are folks who just need a resource, senior resource who could come in and help build a plan, solve a problem, establish partnerships, put a strategy in place for, a new revenue stream, whatever the case may be. And so that's sort of how I landed here. It's really just constantly learning, talking to folks and helping solve problems.
Interesting. And agreed that there's so many agencies out there helping merchants grow their affiliate program. It's what I do in a different kind of capacity. Why I built the course is to help that do-it-yourself solution before you get to like that agency level, right? Like I'm supporting that side, but very rarely do I hear anybody in this industry servicing that publisher side. So love to hear more about like who you're servicing, like what kind of clients would be a good fit for you and what you're doing.
Yeah, so it really varies, right? It depends on a plethora of things. In terms of who I can work with, I mean, I've worked with large coupon sites. I've worked with loyalty sites. I've worked with a lot of content sites. I've worked with different technologies. And it's almost like a matrix of where they're at in their life cycle, from early stage to late, to the model that they have set up, and a bunch of other things. But I'll take a look at the business and understand what their problems are. So it's sometimes hard to put it in specific, like, here are the 3 boxes, because everyone's different. Like I said, some of them, we're just trying to get into the market. We need to understand how to navigate this. Some of them, there's a level of maturity, but they know that there's a revenue stream to be had with things like paid placement or additional partnerships through new networks or new types of economics to bring into the fold. Some of them, it could be, we're thinking about exiting the business. Like, what does the landscape look like? Who are some potential partners for us? So it varies.
That's wild.
Yeah, but it's great. It keeps it interesting. And I feel like, in the time I've been doing this, getting under the hood of so many different publisher businesses has been great. And the other thing I would say, Dustin, is it's not just the affiliate revenue piece. It's the revenue piece, but it's also the product itself. And that could be, if you're a content site, that could just be the site itself, or it could be a type of technology. And then the third piece is really the customer acquisition piece as well. So you could, I've learned, you could help on the partnership side and create a great potential revenue stream. But if they're not working on the customer acquisition side, or they're not working lockstep, it doesn't matter how many partnerships you have if you don't have people reading your site, coming to your site, subscribing to your newsletter, whatever it is.
Great. One of my favorite folks to follow, Adam Infroy. He's doing a lot of things really well in the space, in terms of collecting lead generation and like helping publishers like learn how to monetize their blog, right? And he's out there, and one of the things he preaches is the importance of like creating a blog post and putting organic links in it to begin with. So Google will recognize you as an authority figure, not trying to just make money. You're trying to help people early on. And then once it gets to a certain level of page visits, that's when he goes and monetizes it. Is this just kind of thing you would bring to the table with clients that you take on?
Yeah. I mean, I never would want to sell myself as an SEO expert, but understanding sort of the principles behind how to build your site and monetize it, if it's just strictly affiliate links. I think from a customer perspective, to your point, like you're not totally adding value. It's okay to have other links on your site to things that are helpful if they're not monetized, right? I think if you're just really providing some sort of content that adds value for an end consumer, everything else will sort of follow. Easy for me to say, right? But I think that the focus is really, here's something I believe in. Here's a way I think I could be helpful, whether it's helpful in terms of learning about a product, or even if it's helpful in terms of, finding a coupon or getting cash back. I think as long as your sort of core focus is around doing the right thing for the customer, and then, like, to your point, the monetization comes afterwards, I think that's usually a good way to play it.
Okay, great. And what about your strategy on the publishers themselves and like using a sub-affiliate network that's really easy to monetize, right? If you use like a big link, Southern, whatever you may be, they'll put links all over your site and help you monetize that way. But I would assume that you're having clients that are there and want to start making one-to-one relationships and make more money. Is that kind of the natural progression of sites that you see?
Yeah. I mean, I think generally speaking, the sub-networks provide a great opportunity for publishers to ease their way in. Like that, you've got tens of thousands of potential partnerships. And then I think it's really up to the publisher in terms of what their approach is, because based on the resources you have, you might want to just stick with a a sub network. Now I'm biased, having worked at a network and the ability to, set up those direct partnerships. But it seems to me like the sub networks are providing a little bit more transparency over the years and the ability to sort of optimize from a rate perspective. But yeah, it varies from publisher to publisher in terms of what their approach is. I think usually, like in any business, your top 20% of your partners you're going to want to manage directly. But I think the sub networks provide great coverage beyond those 20%. Or if you have the resources and you want to manage them all directly, a lot of folks go through your traditional Rakuten, CJ, Impact, et cetera. But to answer what I think you were getting at is when you're starting out, the sub networks usually are a really great way to get things going really quickly because everything's aggregated. That's the biggest challenge, right? That the publishers have, I think, is the fragmentation. You gotta, if you're an advertiser, you set up your program on one network, usually, right? Yeah. And that's sort of your kind of approach into affiliate. But if you're a publisher, you got to join Impact, Rakuten, CJ, AWin, Skimlinks, Sovereign, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a lot to manage, right? But the sub networks allow you to do that. They condense it for you. And it's a lot easier on it.
And speaking of managing, is there any tools that you're big on that puts all of that management solutions in one spot? Affiliate comes to mind as a possible solution, right? I love what they're doing over there.
Me too.
Okay, so is that one of your go-to? Yeah, that's the one.
Well, no, I mean, a lot of what I'm doing, to be honest, is a little more strategic. So I'm not putting in software or anything like that. I might make recommendations though. But yeah, I mean, like Affiliate comes to mind. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. There's obviously Trekonomics as well. Brooke and the team at FMTC, that's always a go-to for publishers, and they're looking to streamline and consumer offers. Those are a couple that come to mind. But I feel like we're in a great time where more and more stuff is popping up in terms of tools being built to help out publishers. So, but for me, it's not so much here. Let me implement, this particular technology. I'll more make the recommendation. Say if you're thinking about X, here are your options, and then I could make some suggestions off of that.
Okay, gotcha. Well, now that we're on the subject, affiliate is one of my favorites out there. So go to dustinhouse.com/affiliate. I'm a big
great
person. So I put all of my affiliate links and standardize it and do a quick redirect. Is that kind of another one of your suggestions for publishers out there?
Yeah. What made you choose Affiliate, just out of curiosity? Because I think they're great. I think they're doing a great job.
Just market research altogether. In truth be told, like Affluent was I helped them create their affiliate program originally, and I liked the tool, but they were much more focused on the agency side, which ended up getting captured up by Impact in the long run. But I liked their tool on that side. I just stopped using it because Affiliate seemed like the next solution that was upgrading. So that's how I got there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love it. Yeah. Great team there. Great product. Definitely a fan.
Yeah. I will have her on eventually. I keep poking her to get on here.
You should.
give her a nudge. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So let's switch gears a little bit here, and I want to get you to defend your post here early. This is always a tradition on my podcast to wait a second. We had a chat and I wanted to get to that really quick here. Khalid dropped a great question for us. Thanks for the broadcast. We rarely find live about affiliate marketing for pros. My question here is how I'm going to say AI will affect affiliate networks, as seems to be helpful for advertiser and pubs. Any AI tactics that you're using or suggest to pubs out there, Adam?
Well, I think a lot of these technologies are starting to incorporate AI into what they're doing. I think based on this question around how it will affect affiliate networks, I think one of the biggest challenges is finding the right partners.
Okay.
And a lot of that work happens through experience, right? Like you just know that these publishers work well for this particular vertical, but how do we find new publishers? How do we find new opportunities? How do we understand what's up and coming? And I think that's really where a lot of the AI that's out there will be able to support a lot of these programs in terms of identifying partnerships that perhaps you might not have looked at previously, but based on a number of factors. I'm far from an expert on how it all works, but I would assume you can look at a bunch of different parameters around your program and what you're looking for and what's been successful elsewhere. And if you start to look at it from a benchmark perspective of here are a bunch of publishers who've worked for similar advertisers, or maybe advertisers you don't see as similar, but perhaps somewhere hidden there's a couple of SKUs that might relate to what you're doing. There are ways to, I think that it will help in terms of making partnership recommendations, which is really what I think the opportunity is. And then also, how do you optimize? What's the best way to optimize from an economic perspective as well? Those are things that come to mind for me.
Yeah, I think today, as it stands, from the publisher's perspective, like you build a piece of content that is that has high keyword volume and low difficulty, right? If you're going the organic route, and once you build that piece of content, now you have to find the merchants that you want to support with this piece of content, right? And what's the process today? You go look up best whatever that keyword is, software solutions or whatever it might be, and you're going to get a list from another blogger, and you're going to go and join their affiliate programs, right? But I think there could be a better solution for publishers to find the right brands to work with, and maybe that's coming with AI.
I think so.
I figure somebody's going to be out there like creating this product here soon.
Well, I think there's kind of two parts to it, right? There's the question around the affiliate networks, and that's where I think the opportunity to figure out who the right partners are, or potential partners are. But you touched on something on the publisher side, which is to me outside of the affiliate networks, but the AI to sort of help from a content development standpoint. Now, I certainly am not advocating to have AI write all your content, because as a consumer, I want to know that almost literally someone ran in those shoes that I'm about to buy. But I do think that there are probably ways that AI can at least help surface things like you're talking about. Here are gaps in the market. Here are posts that haven't been updated in X time frame. There's probably ways to leverage it that create a little more operational efficiency for content publishers, which then helps also when you have that operational efficiency, it improves margin as well for a lot of them. So I think that's where there's an opportunity on the publisher side also.
Okay, gotcha. It brings up another point for advertisers out there. If you're on an affiliate network, you better be stuffing keywords on your profile page, like with all the keywords you can possibly get in there. Utilize them, because when publishers are going to search a keyword, you better show up. Too often do I see affiliate managers just forget this aspect on a network to put in the right keywords for whatever you're trying to rank for organically. And I would assume you would see the same when you're out there looking for good merchants to work with.
Yeah, I mean, there are merchants who have great brands that everyone wants to work with, and there's some that are just still unknown. But the reason why they're in the affiliate space, right, is to get coverage and to have publishers pick them up. So I think there's a lot of things that you got to do depending on who you are as a publisher and what you're looking to do. I know that there's a lot of brands that often are pitching publishers to cover their products, sending samples and recommending pitches and things like that. So there's probably kind of a multi-pronged approach you got to take, and then also again it depends where you are in terms of kind of size and recognition as an advertiser. In order to get found.
Great. Let's expand on that. You're getting approached. You've got clients in the publisher space, and I'm an affiliate manager representing a brand. What's the best way to approach you with like the best pitch possible to get you interested in what I'm throwing at you?
Well, that's a good question. I think a lot of times, to be honest, from the work I'm doing, it's the other way around where you're helping
Okay.
publishers positioning themselves to
Hmm.
brands. Bottom line, it's like it's a two-way street.
Okay.
Um, it's got to be. Um, I think when brands reach out, um, want to understand who they are, what products they're selling, the nuts and bolts of the program, but you really want to understand what their brand messaging is, what they stand for, values, because you want to make sure there's some alignment as well. But on the flip side, for the publisher, I think it's all about as well. Here's who we are. Um,
Hmm.
here's what we stand for. Here's what we're offering. Here's why it should work. Here's what we're trying to accomplish. And then there's that layer of goals. What are you trying? When I talk to a brand, I don't right away. I'm not like right away saying, here's publisher X and it's $10,000. Please come work with them, right? Um, it's more about, what are your goals as a company? What are your goals for the affiliate program? What's working? What's not working? What are you trying to achieve in terms of the mix of publishers you're working with? What are you investing in? What are you not investing in? How do things like influencer play into affiliate? How do things
Hmm.
like whatever it is, content play into affiliate? So really trying to understand. And then that helps me say, okay, well, based on the publisher I might be working with at that point in time, here's where I see the fit. Because I don't want to just throw something out there and they're like, oh, well, we're not working with whatever coupon sites. I want to understand first how they operate, what they look for. Um, a lot of times they will work with coupon sites, but there are certain parameters that they put on it.
Sure.
So trying to understand that, and I feel like that's something that's maybe fairly basic, but sometimes gets lost in the shuffle in the space.
Agreed.
So sort of understanding what they're looking to achieve and then seeing how it lines up. And sometimes it's not a fit, and that's okay. We'll part ways as friends.
Some of those basic fundamentals are the things I'm preaching in the course and the things I really plug in that people might be forgetting sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
that are especially good for people that have a couple of years of industry experience that might need to get in there. Hey, anyway, Khalid, really appreciate the question. Great question out there. Now we're going to move into that defend your post situation here, Adam. And I scoured your LinkedIn for something controversial, and you had nothing. Like everything was just top of just top of water, like just chilling. Nothing crazy. But one thing I did want to highlight is something amazing I think you do. And this is your update every quarter of this performance marketing publisher landscape. Tell me about why you even created this to begin with, and like how long did this take you to like create? This is insane.
It is insane. It took me a while. You know, I'm a visual learner, I guess,
Okay.
myself. So we were talking about earlier about sort of understanding the affiliate landscape and kind of who's who.
Uh-huh.
And man, it's been so long that it's always been one of these things I've been working on, like on the side and over, over the years. I think every once in a while I would add a few logos, or I'd speak to a friend in the industry and say, what do you think of this? Am I missing anything? Is it categorized right? And I just thought it would be helpful for people to get a visual understanding of how vast the affiliate publisher landscape is. And I'd probably guess, what do you think, Dustin? I think that's 10-15% of publishers out there, maybe less.
Okay.
Um,
Agreed.
there's so many. I mean, especially when you get into the long tail. But I tried to cover a lot of the big ones that I knew, or up and coming ones that I saw in the space. And my hope is that it gives people a sense of like, wow, there really is a lot of quality distribution in the affiliate space. And as an advertiser, I should be taking advantage of that. Not only the advertisers who are currently in the space, but that roughly 20% that are not an affiliate
Mm-hmm.
today. Oh wow, I can be partnered with a Dotdash Meredith property or Hearst property or Top Cashback or Rakuten or Cap One or Honey or whoever it is, and this is how I do it. So I wanted just everyone to sort of get that visual. It's not perfect, and I I always love getting feedback on it. I've realized there's a lot of overlap, meaning a loyalty publisher has coupons, or a coupon publisher has content, or a content publisher has deals. So I've got a lot of that feedback, like, oh, this person should be here, this publisher should be there, and
everybody's a critic, right?
Well, I appreciate the feedback, but it's good criticism. And I realized until I could like do like some sort of like Star Wars 3-dimensional kind of
it's got to be a Venn diagram, or like you like scoop into a little bit of a piece of there.
Yeah, it needs to be something like Star Wars, or like, I don't know, like Minority Report when they're moving the stuff around on the screen. Like it's got to be something like that. But when it's 2-dimensional, it makes it a little bit harder. But I am constantly trying to improve it, and but I publish it. I will tell you, I'm, as you might know, I'm an advisor to Martech Record, but I've been helping Mike out for a long time, and he was the one who was like, just publish it. He's like, it's good. He's like, you want it to be perfect. He's like, you want it to be perfect, and I was like, yes. He's like, it's good. So the advice I always seem to get throughout my career is like, just do it. Just go, just do it.
Great advice from Mike McNerney there. That is great. If you want to go see this thing, go to dustinhouse.com/pubs, and that'll redirect you. I mean, it is a thing. It is a one of a kind thing that is out there. Nobody else is taking the time to do that. And like, it's so true. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect, but this is an incredible resource. If you get a hold of a new client or a new job, this is the one place I would suggest people go immediately to go look up what kind of potential affiliates you could be working with that new brand. And it's extremely helpful for me. I go back to it every time, and I make a hit list. I mean, I have contacts at these all these publications, not all of them, but like a lot of these publications. There's so many moving parts in this industry all the time. Like, people come and people go. But
Dustin, would you be willing to take down the Will Clark jersey and put this up there in the background instead for all your future podcasts? I'm asking the hard-hitting questions now, Dustin.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I know the love for Will Clark.
You know what? I could probably add it to the whiteboard and stuff like that, but like covering up Will, that, you know what? I'll tell you what.
That's a big ask.
If McNerney comes on and joins me, I'll put it over the Will Clark jersey. But you got to send me the old big board here. I'll do it.
But I will say, if anyone is listening, I would say I love.
That's rude.
Feedback. No, yeah, it's true. I didn't mean it like that. Actually, whoever is, that's terrible. You can just cut me off right now. You can just cut me off. No, to all the folks who will be listening or are listening, if there are publishers that are missing, please send them my way. If you have thoughts on categories, on other ways to do it, I can't promise. Like I was saying, I can't promise I can make all the changes because there's so many different layers, like we were talking about. It really does need to be 3-dimensional, but I really welcome the feedback. And I also, I'm sure you'd agree, Dustin, like I love just hearing about new publishers and who else is out there. And that's been the fun part, is when people ping me and they're like, hey, have you heard about this? We'd love to get them into the landscape map. Have you heard of them? And then I start to take a look, or I'll talk to them and understand who they are and what they're doing. It's a great way to learn about new distribution out there. So I welcome that from all the listeners.
And I welcome that as well. I want you to come and be my guest. If you're a publisher out there, I want to hear your perspective, and I would love to have you on here. If you got something cool going on, we want to hear about it over here at Affiliate Nerd Out. So I want to switch gears here one more time and talk about the right time for affiliate marketing. Like, when you're taking on clients, like, what do you see as like a standard for taking on clients that where they could really benefit from your help?
So if you're not using affiliate today,
okay,
but you have a recognizable brand, you have traffic, and you are trying to figure out a newer alternate monetization strategy,
all right,
that's the right time. If you are a startup and you have a plan in terms of growth, you've you've maybe raised a little money, you're thinking about raising money, you're taking, meaning it's something that you're putting a real concerted effort behind.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times when you are starting up, resources are thin. That's the time when I could help. I do think, although sometimes, like I was saying earlier, the traffic and the product and the partnership piece has to come together, there is something to be said about having at least the operational infrastructure to support it when the traffic is there. You don't want to have this influx of traffic and then be scrambling to figure out, how do I incorporate affiliate into the mix? So I'd say it's another time. Or, a lot of the folks I work with are, mid-sized to large businesses who are just looking to solve a particular problem. So maybe it's not the right time for affiliate, but the right time for Adam. I don't know. So you need some help, some strategic help in terms of creating new revenue streams or optimizing what you have. Or a lot of times it could just be a kind of a one-off project that you need someone kind of senior strategic to kind of help you tackle. And that's really where I come in.
Fantastic. And what's the best way for people to get a hold of you? Is it on LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn. You could email me. Since we already talked about the long domain name I have, adam@weissdigitalconsulting.com, or go to the site, or, I'm on the Martech Slack as well. Find me all over.
Great point on that. Like, I can't emphasize enough, like, the importance of a community. Like, just as we were talking about the publishers that you have listed on that giant thing, as I like to call it, that's going to cover Will Clark here soon. Having the right connections at all of those companies, all those publications, is really important. And one of the greatest things about Martech Record and the forum that we have there on that Slack channel is the community that is asking each other these questions about, hey, anybody got a contact over here? I really need to get a hold of them. And the people that are out there helping this community are really incredible. It's a very nice aspect of what they're doing over there. That's
the great part about the industry too.
Yeah.
Everyone's helpful. You go to one of the conferences and you feel like it's old home week. Seeing people meeting new people making introductions. That's a great part of the industry, in my opinion. Yeah, awesome. Another industry that we are joined to, and how I know Adam, is the PMA. If you are not a part of the PMA and a member yet, go and join. Absolutely love the value of what they give you for your membership each year. What's your favorite part about the PMA here, Adam? I love the research that they did. I mean, I still use it in terms of the market size. I think it's great to have a sense of how big our industry is. I think it was 9.1 billion was the number they threw out there, and sort of the breakdown by publisher categories, which we just talked about. It's never 100% perfect, but having a directional sense, it's so helpful to me when I'm looking at clients and understanding, what their opportunity is. So I love that about the PMA, and I hope they keep pushing out data like that. Yeah, absolutely. There are some great benefits to being in this organization, so go and check it out yourself. Last topic before I let you go here. I know you spend a lot of time at the networks, and that work-life balance, agencies get a bad rap, but I feel like network life is like your breeding ground for your young employees just getting into affiliate marketing. Do you think that's still true today? Yeah, I mean, I in terms of a growth opportunity for folks entering the space, absolutely. I always say I feel like the network is the interchange of everything that's going on in our space. Everything passes through it. At the end of the day, advertisers, publishers, they partner through the networks, track the transactions. They handle the transactions, the payments, products, product feeds, reporting, analytics. It's all happening through the network. So when you're working there, you really get like the proverbial. I think you did a podcast on bad catchphrases in the industry.
Yes, we did. Cliches, for sure.
Cliches, thank you. I'm going to do it. The 30,000 foot view of Was that on there? Did they mention that one?
Yeah, we argued about whether it was 60,000 or 50,000 or 30,000.
I think most planes are usually, aren't they, like 30, 35,000? But anyway, that 30,000 foot view of the industry, you see it all. And so I think coming into space, for me, I started working on the publisher side of the business 20 years ago. And I really feel like being at the network, because I was able to see so many different businesses and things happening, it really was a great perspective and a great introduction to the industry. And then I've seen over the years folks who've worked for me and have worked at the network go on to work at brands, work at publishers, work at agencies, start their own agencies, become senior people at brands and agencies. So to me, from where I've sat, it's really been a great breeding ground for folks in the industry to learn and to grow.
Absolutely. Totally agreed. My first job in this industry is at CJ, and it took me 3 positions and 5 interviews before I got hired into that 3rd position that I went for. And it's because I didn't have any industry expertise. Nothing could prepare you for what affiliate marketing is, except for doing your best to prepare for those kinds of interviews. And if you know anybody in this industry that you would like them to get their first job in the industry, have them go check out performancemarketingmanager.com, the online course that teaches you everything affiliate marketing and how to create and scale an affiliate program. All right, that's enough for today here. For those of you that are constantly on here, my guest on Thursday is going to be another veteran. Chuck Hamrick's going to join me from Avant Link, hanging out. If you would like to be a guest on Affiliate Nerd Out, go hit this QR code and be my next guest. Go to dustinhouse.com/nerd. And if you would like 15 minutes of my time to talk about anything affiliate, go to dustinhouse.com/pod. That's it for me, Adam. Really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in and nerding out with me.
Thanks, Dustin. It's fun, man.
All right. Awesome. Take care, folks.